Hi, yeah, I'm wanting to show everybody this. This is for a 1997 Plymouth Grand Voyager with a 3.0 motor. I was replacing the valve cover gasket, and I ran into this problem, or rather, I found out what was going on with the problem that I was having with the vehicle, and it was this connector, which is an 8-socket receptacle with a 7-wire setup on it, and on the wiring on the back of it I was having a problem with exposed wires that weren't all the way up into the socket. They were creating a short across there. I was having problems with power drainage from my battery. I was having problems with instrument panels, the steering column cluster, idiot lights coming on, airbag lights staying on, all kinds of stuff. And it was all because of this little thing here. And what it is it's a connector piece that's on the back side above the uh, inboard unexposed side of the motor, uh, that close to the cowl. And the only way to see that is you have to go through the process of pulling off the windshield wiper assembly and everything, and then you can see this in the back there. No mechanic's going to see this on average. No person's going to see this on the average. This is not something that you're just going to be able to see, because as you can see, I cut this off right next to the wiring harness. There's only about 3 inches that's available to that, so you can't just pull it out and look at it. And the problem I had was that the wires were actually the two wires, like these two here and then over here, were shorting out, and the whole wire clear down this far down on this, both these along with these other ones here were actually brittle and flaking off because it had been shorting out. There's no heat there above the valve cover, and this sits right underneath the ignition coil. And I'm going to show you here a picture of where it's located at. See where the black, and it's no designation where it's at, but it's right above the valve cover, right where this points to. And this is out of the Plymouth service book, which you won't see on the average manual repair at any rate. So if you're having problems with anything that's can't be resolved, or if you had a fire or something, like this is the problem. And I called Chrysler on April 20th, today Friday, 2012, and reported this and told them this is the major thing going on, and this may be a problem with some of the recalls they've been having to deal with that keep having to have them over and over again. Uh, and if you don't know this, you have a few recalls. One is the clock spring, which is in the steering column, which this might be what's causing that to happen. And after 70 miles and 140 up to 140,000 miles, it's a free recall to have that repaired in your local service place. But not many people are going to be able to see this. You see that wire that's in there? That's straight out of the junkyard off of a random vehicle. It's not mine. Mine's way worse than this. Mine's completely thrashed. That's why I needed this. So, and this is for the 3.0 liter. It's in the back behind. You see there's two wires right across from each other that are already exposed. And what it is when this thing's together, they take and they melt it as part of the harness. So it's all stuck together, all the way up here, and then taped all the way up to that point right there. So nobody's going to see that. You're not even going to see that. And this whole thing is corroded. For some reason, these connectors seem to actually attract the dirt and dust and oil in a place that they shouldn't even. I don't know if it's the ignition coil that does it or what, but they get all corroded, and you just it's a major issue. So if you're having problems with this, you need to have this checked and look at your motor, and you can't do it. It's really tough to get in there to see this. You might be able to use a flashlight in a mirror maybe, but then you're going to have to be able to disconnect it and be able to look at the wires. And this is the third one and they've all been like this. Mine and the ones from the junkyard. So even if you pull ones off the junkyard, you're going to see that it's got exposed wires. And this is a hazard because what it does is it arcs to each other and it causes your instrument and your fuses or whatever, or whatever's going on there, or it could cause a drain because they're fused together, which cause a drain of your battery over a period of time. Uh, your instrument panels will keep coming on, short circuits of other things going on. Also, it grounds out to the valve cover. It makes an arc to there, which grounds out, which drains your battery. And or it can actually, if this is corroded enough with enough oil and everything like that, it could spark and create a fire in your car. And you could be driving down the road and your car could start on fire, or it could be sitting there after you stop and it could start on fire. It's a potential hazard, big time. Either, and who knows if this is a serious enough thing, and it has anything to do with something that could fail while you're driving. That's no good. This could be a reason why if some of you had an issue with these vehicles and nobody could figure out what it was, it's probably these wires that are exposed because the wiring harnesses weren't done right. And if you have a 97 Plymouth or 96 Plymouth or a 2000 Plymouth for 3.0 liters, I would suspect that you need to check them all because they're all got the same thing in the back there. I don't know. It might just be the 1 year when they got it from whoever made the harnesses, if GM made them or if they had them outsourced. I don't know, but there it is. That's the doohickey, and uh, that's a big time no-no there. Well, I hope this video was helpful for anybody and everybody. And you have a great day. I hope nothing happens to your vehicle. Hope you get that